Welcome back. Before we wind down on markets, we'll get a final take from Anand Tandon. Anand, the banks are doing very, very well. Now the street is getting a little bit adventurous. They're looking at some tier 2 banks, some NBFCs as well. Would you flirt with them, or do you believe stick to the large cap banks?
Tactically, I think we discussed this last time as well. The smaller banks may probably give you more upside, especially the public sector banks, largely because they're trading below book. Book has been relatively cleaned up. Credit growth is now happening, so they will also pick up some of the credit, and margins will therefore expand. So for the next 1 or 2 years, till the credit that they have expended moves into NPAs, you are going to see fairly good growth. The problem is that many of them do not have great credit analysis methodologies, and they will lend to companies that will have trouble if the cycle were to turn. So therefore, you are then looking back at those companies which are going to do it in a sustainable manner, and which is why you keep coming back to the larger banks. So long story short, corporate-facing banks, yes. For now, for the next year and a half, almost all public sector banks should do reasonably
well. Anand, anything, broadly, your view is that reason to be more kind of careful rather than go wildly bullish from these levels. But any other areas you like in particular? Anything you see a little mispricing somewhere, or you think it's kind of hard to do that now?
Well, even the smaller companies are fairly expensive. So actually, you are better off in the larger companies, because for a change, the small cap index is not trading at a discount to the large cap. So at least if you were to look at the top 200 or 300 companies, and you can always find some companies outside that. But if you restrict yourself to the top 200 to 300 companies, then you have to look for places where where perhaps the larger companies are not properly priced. One of those sectors, for example, to my mind, is power. There is a lot happening in terms of new orders coming in, even for thermal power plants, for NTPC, for NHPC. Of course, NHPC is not thermal, but I'm saying that even in renewables, there's a lot of activity that has begun to pick up on NHPC as well. So some of those which are still trading relatively cheap, which are almost dividend plays, are sectors which are, to my mind, still underpriced. Any sector which is very popular right now is not going to provide you value at least.
Okay, all right, Anand, thanks so much for stopping by and giving us your view on a whole host of sectors. Wishing you a good evening ahead. Well, time to wind down then. The Nifty ended with a